What's up, guys? This is the first time I'm going to do this type of video. I'm choosing a Vanguard going with a halberd, hatchet, and throwing axe. I actually picked the halberd on accident, and right off the bat I attacked this asshole right here because he just completely owned me in the previous game. And of course this is before the game actually starts, so no one cares. So this time I'm doing my commentary not live for once. I want to basically talk more strategy in the game because when I do it in real time, I tend to get distracted with you know, just emoting basically, and I don't get a lot of chances to explain my strategy. And I think doing this not live will give me a much better opportunity to explain myself. So, right about here, I think I'm mostly trying to keep my distance from these guys, and that was one of the, like, 3 times I blocked in this episode. Yeah, I've been going on this kick recently of just not trying to block so much and swinging like crazy when I run into like this, what I do right here, just running in like an idiot. It's basically going back to what I did when I started, and I got crazy lucky I survived right there. I think I retreat now and accidentally kill a teammate. Yeah, I hang out and try and get some health back, and try and ignore their archers, but... And I actually hit him with a throwing axe twice, that's right. Screw that guy. Yeah, like, normally when people first start playing Chivalry, they swing like crazy, and they find out it's not that effective, and then they go on this kick of... How am I gonna... Nope, this guy right here. Am I? Nope, I guess I failed right there. I start doing better near the end. I think I hit tab right here and see, yeah, 2 out of 3. I forget what score I end with, but it's crazy good here. And this will get more strategical as the game progresses, besides just everyone suiciding into the cart. But, like I was saying, when people start, they swing wildly, and then I played a game against this guy who was really good. A couple games against guys who were really good, and they were blocking like crazy, so I went on this like, big block... let me pause what I'm saying. This fight I was really upset with. I charge him, and I miss. I attempt to block, and I fail. And I think I blocked this one. I hit him once. And then, right? There, because I faked a hit, and then that one. Now he kills me right here. Twice? No, not twice in a row. There's the other one. Yeah, timing-wise, with the blocks and stuff, I'm really torn. Because sometimes it feels like when you block, you recover faster than the person attacking you, and other times it feels like you recover slower. And honestly, I don't know what the rhyme or reason is behind it. That's something I'm trying to figure out, but I swear to God, like, weapon speed doesn't so much matter as lag, so I don't know. But like I was saying, I played against these 2 guys that were... totally gonna kill that guy, and I think I actually do successfully charge... No, I get off a few good charges in this map, but that wasn't one of them. Definitely a few lucky kills there. I played against a few guys that were really good at blocking, and they basically kicked my ass, so I stopped trying to swing wildly and start blocking, and I just went on this kick of doing really bad at this game, and that's why I went so long without recording. I get lucky here. This guy hit the tree right there when he should have killed me. And then I managed to make my artful getaway, and I believe I missed these hatchet shots. Yep, didn't do anything special there. What? Right up here, I think no, yeah, I do a taunt because I burned to death. Yeah, I went on this kick of trying to block a lot. It wasn't turning out well, and just recently, I've got back into the swing of... God, just look at our team getting slaughtered right now. I've been on this kick recently of trying to swing wildly, except to try and be more mindful of my distance to the enemy than anything else, and also doing a lot of turns, because people generally think you're not facing them, and because you have such a huge swing radius as Vanguards and Knights with 2-handers, you can basically catch people off guard that think you're not even about to hit them. And this guy tries to sneak around back, and then to the face, once, twice, and keeps working, so 3rd time's a charm. Kill him with 3 overhand strikes. I'm gonna try and help out my teammate here. I believe I actually hit him with this hatchet. Nope, I keep saying that and I keep missing. But I totally stole a teammate's kill right there. I try and hide in the pillars right here so the archer can't hit me. And I forget how this turns out, honestly. I think I'm moving for the kill right now, and he gets killed right in front of me. Turn around and I'm dead. right? Am I? Oh, no, that's right, he hits me twice. But this is one of the times where I actually have a teammate with me when I'm behind enemy lines. That's what I was saying right there. That hatchet that I tried to use, just a poor decision on my part. I actually meant to pick the other one, the bigger axe, basically, and I think that extra range would have given me the kill, but I accidentally picked the hatchet, and I did not use it from here on out after this point in the game, because I noticed how short the swing radius was, and I was like, fuck that. So, let's see, I go around. This was another time that man, I sucked in the beginning. I didn't even realize how... I'm basically just getting lucky kills, but nothing that actually requires any skill at all. And then right here, I missed that guy. He gets killed, I think, but coming up here is a Vanguard that comes up from there, and I decided to wait for him to strike here and parry him, rather than go on the offense, because it's a one-on-one. And I think, honestly, that's where the difference lies. In one-on-one fights, you generally have more time to think, but if you're going for score, it's honestly better to just swing like a freaking retard. Okay, so right here, basically I'm trying to long-range axe. I think I did better shots than I thought I did, honestly, but I'm more trying to dodge the sniper, and once I get into this clusterfuck, I try and let my teammate distract them, and then it all just fails and goes to hell, and we both die. So now you'll see one of the few moments in this game where I actually did successfully use my axe. I see that Vanguard up there is kind of hurt, so I just chuck it and get totally lucky. Aim for the archer and whiff, but since I got some backup right here with that knight to my side, I decide... do a quick battle cry. I decide it's probably best to charge, so it's 4 against 2 right here, and I try and utilize their own numbers against them and get them to take team damage, which I think I did alright. We get some more backup, but if it doesn't work out too well for me, and I die right there. And coming up right now, because I'd been doing so well, and I noticed my teammates were doing well, I had completely thought we would own them, but they get the cart right here, and that kind of upset me. But it did pave the way for one of my best scores ever. So right here in this fight, I want you to pay particularly close attention to my turning. If you could see what I just did there, I was doing these weird turns back and forth. That'll come into play a little bit later. It'll be a little more obvious. But I'm basically doing that because the direction that you're turning affects when you're going to strike, and I'm fine-tuning my ability to strike exactly when and where I want to. So it just seems like I'm sort of like crazily wobbling the mouse back and forth, but that wasn't really the case. It was more me trying to make sure I didn't hit the tree and then get the distance and everything just right. So right here is another opportunity where I would have normally blocked, but I just decided to go balls out and swing like crazy when I run into the enemy forces. And it turns out pretty well for me, I think. I can't remember if I kill this guy or not. Yeah, I definitely do. But I think right there, if I'd try to stay on the defense, it wouldn't have worked. And man-at-arms out of nowhere, coming from my side right here. Just... where is it? Coming up, smack! That son of a bitch. And then I just decide, you know what, I'm hurt already, I'm just gonna run in, see what I can do, and basically I can't see how hurt Vanguard could have done any more damage than I did right there. I was basically down to 1 hit to die, and I got in 2 more kills before it happened, so I'm really happy with how that turned out, and it's basically a good example of how suiciding yourself can work out for the team and your advantage. Duty and virtue live! And this life right here just turned out awful. I'm going in for the charge. I can see that knight right there fighting a red guy, so I'm aiming at the red guy, aiming at the red guy, aiming at the red guy, charge, and blue guy out of nowhere. Start the second swing, look at the ground because I don't want to hit him, and then get hit with an arrow, get hit with an axe, get hit with a halberd, and I'm dead. Probably one of my most useless lives in this game. All I did was hit a teammate, miss, and then die. That was one of my few charge kills. I make sure to celebrate by stabbing his corpse. And I think I can sneak up on this archer, but I think he gets away from me. I hit him once, and yep, I get kill stolen. That's what happens. That son of a bitch survived that attack, which I did not anticipate. I didn't even think we had that many archers on our team. So here, another good example of retardedly charging behind enemy lines. I didn't leverage them as much as I wanted to, getting them to hit each other, which is why I died right here. It would have been a lot wiser for me to hang out basically behind enemy lines, but still close to them, if that makes any sense, so I could get them to hit each other. And so I could get multiple hits, but I decided just out of reflex, and I actually successfully killed this knight that was going after. Really proud of that guy. But yeah, leveraging the team damage is a huge aspect of getting into like huge fights like that. Did pretty well here. Surprised that hit even hit him. And he managed to sidestep, but it didn't save his life. Here I actually successfully hit this guy with an axe and then strike him with my halberd. That's pretty rare for me. I'm super bad with ranged weapons in this game. And I think I sit here and try and get my health back for a minute when I just watch the fight. I let my friends and my teammates go on about their business. Probably unwise. It would have been smarter to just suicide myself, and I finally catch wind of that. Yeah, I start getting up here and then rolling into the combat zone. Now, there was a couple archers over there. I was hoping I could maybe get them to forget about me by hiding behind that pillar. And then I realized the numbers are like 12 to 1 or whatever they are right now. Pretty sure that this ends up not ending up well. Yep. Yeah, that didn't end well. But starting right now, I think I've been doing alright up to this point, but I think that's when I finally realized that it's probably the best way to get kills on this map is to sneak behind enemy lines and really just try and steal archer kills. And I think that's what I start doing in this life here. After I charge this knight. After I charge this knight that was hiding in the tower. And then, I think, yep, I just hit this vanguard, and then I just keep running for the archers back here, and I swing like crazy. That's 1 kill, 2 kill, 3 kills, 4 kills this life. And then we got, coming up on that archer, I got 5 kills that life by ignoring everyone and just going for the archers. So I pretty much decide that's the best way to go, and I do that repeatedly. And right here, I jump on this knight, and I like Mario off of his head for so long after I missed my initial hatchet shots. I was really actually pretty upset I didn't get that kill, because it would have just been just dandy to jump on his head and then get a nice overhead swing headshot kill on him, but sadly that ended up not being the case. I got another couple teammates here, trying my best to sneak behind enemy lines as soon as we can get this vanguard out of the way. Doesn't like to let it up easy, but once again, you can see I decide not to block even in the one-on-one scenario and just swing like crazy. Once again, I do manage to successfully get behind enemy lines, and we got 1 archer down. And does he? No, he doesn't live. I did just a piercing attack when I run up on him right here. Then that archer down, 2 more archers right here. Me and my teammate pretty much run a train on these guys and destroy them. All behind enemy lines here. Oh, take a moment to laugh about it, and then turn around to enemies. No enemies? Oh, I thought there was enemies. No, I guess not. It's just more archers. So we just continue. Wait for it, and hit him at once and kill him. And we just keep going with it. Yeah, this is probably my favorite life. Back up, kill the vanguard, kill the archer, and I'm still alive to tell the tale. That is 2 waves of enemies that I have lived through, and finally my reign of terror was ended. And I make sure to let people know that in chat. So once again, I managed to get a successful charge on actually the same guy. Got really lucky that vanguard missed right there, but that sidestep was not an accident. And got the vanguard kill, turn around to avoid hitting my teammates, and I think, yeah, that's right, this is the one time I actually hit someone with a long-range axe in this map. But yeah, more basically defenseless archers. I'm actually really surprised I got distracted by this vanguard here, but pretty lucky that I got the kill. Killed that guy too, and then just basically, I don't want to say got unlucky, but I mean, I was definitely going to die, but I was hoping I would have lasted longer. Again, here you can see me coming up solo on a group of enemies, mostly archers. That's actually kind of not as good as a thing as you'd think it would be, because if they're all archers, I actually managed to pull it up pretty well here, get a good amount of kills. But if they're all archers, I like to leverage them hitting each other. That's right, I kill all of them. I forgot about this life. Kill every single person here, and that just does wonders for my score. Yeah, normally going into a group of archers, I'm concerned they're not going to do team damage to each other, and I get owned. I'm concerned they're not going to do team damage to each other, but in that situation, I'm definitely happy with the way things turned out. Normally they just turn you into a pincushion when you run up on them like that, but I don't know what those guys were doing. It's my presumption that the people in this match just weren't all that good, and I think next time you hit tab, you can see that the levels kind of confirm that. Which isn't to say they always matter that much. And I successfully get a charge off right there. That's rare. And once again, a fat group of enemies to charge. And this is one of my favorite lives too, actually, because I do manage to leverage a little bit of team damage here. I think. Or no? No, I guess not. I get a lot of kills, but not so much team damage. Oh, my one-on-one with the knight here. This is... I lose this fight, but this is interesting, because I tried to do... I tried to not block in this fight. So you can see me switching, trying to get some of these, and then... that's switching to my shitty hatchet again, and it's just... The teammate that he had from behind just owned me. Managed to steal my teammate's kill right there, and we're down to the 2-minute warning, so I know I need to do things differently. If you notice, what I'm doing, or what I just did, you might want to rewind the video a little bit. I looked at a guy, and when your crosshair turns red, you actually get a little speed boost, and that's to normally prevent people from retreating. It makes the person who's chasing you run faster if they're looking at you. And of course, you can't run faster if you're retreating, or you can't look at someone when you're retreating, so you don't get the speed boost. But sometimes situations like that, I think I do it again here pretty soon. I leverage the speed boost, maybe not, but it's still possible to leverage that speed boost for offensive purposes if you're running into enemy lines like I did right there, like 40 seconds ago now. And charge in the back. I did really lucky with the charges in this map, I gotta say. But like I said, if you are like able to glance at enemies as you duck and weave between their lines, it'll actually give you a decent speed boost that you can use to get behind them. And I'd mostly forgotten about that up until this point in the game. And I think with about 21 seconds left here, this match is pretty much over. Let me hear what you guys think about this commentary style. It's a little less actiony than what I was doing before, but I'm much happier with my ability to describe strategy. And I think as I get more advanced in the game, basically my strategical preferences will change, and I'll try and micro-analyze tiny little events. I tried to give myself a heart attack there, but I accidentally took a screenshot. Anyway, so you can see my final score here. I did pretty well. It's actually pretty small on my screen right now, so let me make it big. But let's see, I got 51-18. Pretty decent if I do say so myself. But yeah, keep an eye out for the next Chivalry video. Next class, I don't know.